Welcome to the Undrafted Armchair Quarterbacks. We're Jim and Joe, lifelong friends, lifelong fans, bringing you fan-driven sports talk the way real fans do. No overpaid experts, no scripted analysis, just honest takes on games, players, and the big stories shaping sports right now.
We love having you be a part of it, everyone. Drop your comments, questions, and takes. We'll read them all and bring them into future shows. Please hit like, subscribe, and join the conversation every week for free right here on YouTube or Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you listen. And happy Friday the 13th, Joe.
I can't believe it's Friday the 13th. That's actually pretty scary, really, when you think about it. I mean, not because of anything other than Friday the 13th is scary. You're afraid to drive. You're afraid to do anything, really reckless. I mean, you should be.
Friday the 13th, I think it's good luck.
You do?
Dan Marino's number.
Like, it's funny. I thought you were turning around like something was behind you. I didn't know what you were. It is good luck for some people.
You're trying to scare me now.
No, you know what? Sorry about that. I wasn't keeping up with what you were doing. You're right. It's not unlucky at all.
We can be impromptu, even though, hey, we're undrafted. We can do whatever we want on this show.
100%. Matter of fact, we could probably look into it, do a whole show on why 13 is not unlucky. There's probably fantastic, not only players' numbers, but games. Super Bowl 13. Did they skip that? Like on an airplane, a lot of airlines skip the row 13. Like you go from 12 to 14. Elevators, there's no 13th floor in some hotels. Yeah, it's legit, man.
I like it. I think of Wilt Chamberlain too. Wasn't he number 13? I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was. Well, that is unlucky for whoever had to defend him.
Yeah, no kidding. And Marino too.
See, yeah, Dan Marino too. Yeah, yeah. There's always two sides of the story.
That's true.
Hey, listen. I think there's still some residual talk about the Super Bowl. I'm sure there's still not through DraftKings, of course, or a formal betting site, but I'm sure there's still some money to be collected from some informal betting sites. But nonetheless, it's all done. There's been some aftermath, some great comments, some great stories have come out of it. So you got any good takes that have been kind of sticking in your mind?
I do. I read something about where Sam Darnold, because the Super Bowl was played in California, his Super Bowl winnings, something called the tax. It's like, here we go back to Friday the 13th. This is a horrifying story where the taxes, because the game was played there, it ended up eating up so much of his Super Bowl winnings. It's just a story out there that it may have actually cost him like $70,000 or $71,000 for staying a week in California for the Super Bowl.
So
he
wins the Super Bowl and he loses money because of, well, the Super Bowl is expensive anywhere, but especially because it was in California.
And you lived in California, right?
I did. I lived in Carlsbad, California, Carlsbad/Oceanside, which is kind of in between LA and San Diego, back in the late 80s, 89 through 93-ish. So, yeah, I could believe it. I was working in Dallas, Texas, and that same company offered me a promotion to move to Carlsbad, and I was going to go into a better paying job, and I did. I moved. I was single, and I moved and got about a 20% pay raise, which back then was pretty good. And I ended up losing money. As a matter of fact, I had to get a part-time job 2-3 nights a week delivering pizzas for Pizza Hut. I'm not kidding, to kind of make ends meet out there. So yeah, I mean, that was back then. I think it's gotten worse.
I could see you doing like Tom Brady does. Pizza Hut.
No. Yeah, except my pizza would have been cold. This was back before cell phones. I try to tell my kids this. This was back before cell phones. There was no maps. We had a huge map on the wall of the Pizza Hut, and you'd get 4 or 5 pizzas in your hand, and you'd be looking on the map where you had to go. Every street out there was called Camina Vita something. Camina Vita Roble, Convita Nita Noble, Camina Vita Vita, Camina Royale Vita. Everything was curvy, not like Miami where we grew up. Everything was great. Hey, where do you live? 132nd Street. I'm on 145th. I know where you are. This
Yeah.
was all mountainy roads. I mean, seriously, it would be like an hour pulling over, no phone. Got to find a gas station, nowhere to be found. Use a payphone. Brutal. So, yeah. So anyway, I digress. But it was expensive, man. So I think if Sam Darnold, even a little tongue in cheek, says he lost money, he probably didn't make nearly as much at best.
Yeah. Taxes are no fun. And so then you move back to Florida. Yay. Hey,
Yes.
maybe maybe the Dolphins can get Sam Darnold to move to Florida. There's no state tax here.
Hey,
Come
listen.
on
l-
down.
Let me tell you something. Maybe not so much anymore, just because the money is so stupid in a good way. But some of the lesser paid, not the Sam Darnolds of the world, not the Tuas of the world, but
Yeah.
the backup left guard, where he lives may that matters if you're a tax-free state. So if you're playing for Tennessee versus playing for New York, California, you're probably making what, 7, 8, 9%, maybe 12% in New York more than someone making the same money. So it does
Yeah.
matter.
It does matter. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a really hard story to hear. I mean, the violin's not playing too loud for Sam Darnold. He
Yeah.
probably lost he probably lost money because he probably he brought 30 people out there and paid for all their stuff too, but whatever. This is a sad story though. Another story that came out of the Super Bowl, the forgotten sad story. I was reading this somewhere. I think I was reading maybe in the Athletic. I'd like to give credit to anybody I'm reading from, but it was about Tyler Lockett. You
Yeah.
remember him?
Yes.
So Tyler Lockett, he gets drafted out of Kansas State in the third round in 2015. Well, Seattle won the Super Bowl in 2014. So he just missed being on Seattle Super Bowl winning team. Well, that's okay. Well, no, it's not. Fast forward 10 years later, and Tyler Lockett, the last year, gets traded. Um, to add insult to injury, he gets traded to Tennessee Titans, one of the worst teams in the league. And to make the paper cut even sting more by pouring lemon juice in it, they trade him to Las Vegas Raiders, who ended up being the worst team in the league. And guess what? That happened last year. And guess what happened this year? Seattle wins the Super Bowl. Tyler Lockett, who, by the way, ranks second in almost every receiving category there is, right behind Hall of Famer Steve Largent. So we're not talking about some scrub here. One of their franchise most coveted, uh, respected, everyone says, I mean, this is a quote from former coaches, as good of a human being as you've ever met in your life. He gets he gets picked up the year after they win and gets traded the year before they win. Talk about bad timing, man. Wow.
And now he's with the Raiders, but they're going to draft Mendoza and win the Super Bowl now.
Hey, put down the flask. Back
Yeah.
away. Come on. Just because, the Patriots did something similar, we got a lot of work to do. Would I love to see it, of course. And I think, can anyone do it now? Yeah, it's possible. By the way, honorable mentions. The same thing happened to a couple other really famous players or well-known players. Wes Walker, played
Yeah.
for all those years with New England.
Could
Well, he went to the Super Bowl twice with them, lost them both. Then ended up going with Denver, lost that one too. So he's 0 for 3 in Super Bowls after he got, just bad timing. And in 2017, Brandon Cooks. He lost Super Bowl 52 while with the Patriots. Well, that's okay. That's sad. Well, then he was traded to the Rams in 2018. And guess what? Then they lose the Super Bowl to the Patriots. I mean, what? Oh, well, sad, sad.
that is something else, man. But
I know
Tyler
you can't
Tyler Lockett,
sports.
Wes
You
Welker,
can't
you
make it
just
up.
yeah, it's
Isn't
it's
that
a
funny?
hard thing to do to win that Super Bowl.
Well, let me tell you, it's just kind of you can't make it up. You go to the Super Bowl with the Patriots, you lose. Oh well, you go back the next year, but you're traded to the team they play, and they beat you. Sad. Hey, but anyways, last second thoughts on the Super Bowl. Early thoughts on who's going to win it next year. Too soon to tell, but what do you think?
I had one more comment about Mike McDonald with the
Oh,
Super Bowl
please.
afterwards. I loved his comment, and I think it was a shot. This is allegedly a shot at the voters who did not elect him as coach of the year or vote for him as coach of the year. He said 5 words, and I thought it was great. Five words. I'll take this trophy after he won the
Uh,
Super Bowl.
uh, while
Uh
you're
huh.
holding the yeah, while you're holding the Lombardi Trophy, I guess it's there's not a whole lot of other trophies you probably feel bad about not getting. I get it.
And
Yeah,
with a 500,000 Seattle fans circled around the streets and everything, just watching
yeah,
him cradle that baby.
yeah,
So, yeah, he'll take that trophy.
yeah. No,
Congrats to the
I
Seahawks,
would
man.
too. Yeah. Congrats to them. We talked about this, but and by the way, speaking about good coaches, Vrabel, man, he I got no problem with him winning it either. I mean, turning around that team and all that, plus just the way he is as a coach and a person. Um, I wish I had it teed up right here because there is a video out there on X. I think it's an X post or maybe it's Instagram, but it literally has Mike Vrabel talking to Drake May, and they time segment it to where the comment right before the game, the comment after the first quarter, the comment to him after the third quarter, after the fourth quarter, and then at the end of the game. And each one is before the game, like you're ready, listen, just relax. It's a snippet of each timestamp. He comes off first quarter, he's like, hey, just relax, relax, relax. Don't worry about it, man, relax. Second quarter, hey man, hey, just relax. By the time they get to the fourth quarter, literally his last offensive play, I don't know if you remember, but Drake May's rolling out and just gets blown up and he's on the sideline right in front of Vrabel. And he's laying on the field, Drake May, and Vrabel leans over, and this is the last comment. He goes, hey, you want to finish? You want to finish this game? Drake May says, yep. And he goes, well, let's get the hell up then. And he pulls him up and he runs back in. It's like, runs back in for, the last play because that was on the last series. Anyways, it's kind of unbelievable and heart wrenching knowing what happened. You know what I mean? But go look for that. It's worth it. It's worth the 45 seconds.
Yep. Yeah, it's really comforting to see that he's just treats him like a human being. He wasn't yelling at him like, "What's
Oh,
wrong with you?"
yeah.
You better get it together, or you're going to be riding a pine. That kind of thing. But
Yeah, not even a human being, but just, I mean, let's face it, the world saw a very young quarterback struggling on the biggest stage in your sport. And it was just the way he was, still motivating him, but not making a big deal. Like, come on, just come on, man. Just it's okay. Next play, next, you know what I mean? It was good to see it. Having said all that, if I start thinking about, next year too soon, Seattle to me, that's sustainable. I mean, you're going to lose the NFL today, free agency. You're going to lose players, sometimes key players. The Raiders will probably trade Max Crosby just to get a better offensive line. You know what I mean? It happens. But no matter who the Seattle Seahawks lose, I see a plug and play situation, especially on defense, where what they can do that again with different people.
and I think the New England Patriots can see that happening with their franchise again too. And they better hope that Drake May doesn't have to face the dark side again because he looked
Yeah,
shell shocked
yeah,
almost from the beginning of that game on. But now we all understand why Seattle's defense was that great.
right.
It
Well,
was
you
something.
know, potential shoulder, issue as well. But I don't care who you are, and I don't care, you know, Joe Namath. Way back when, we're gonna win. I guarantee it. I think at that point, and I'm not taking anything from Joe Namath, but the AFL, this black, the redheaded stepsister, you had kind of nothing to lose by saying it because you were supposed to lose by 20 plus points, to the vaunted, you know what I mean? Him saying that versus in today's multi-billion-dollar social media, your nose hairs are on 4K. There's 1,500 experts dissecting your footwork when you're back in the pocket. There's a lot more pressure to play in these games now. And so I don't care who you are, a second-year quarterback, man, who looked as calm as a, cucumber was not. There's no way you can be. Everyone's nervous as hell. And I mean, he'll learn from this.
Yeah, he sure will. And my other teams that are way too early are some of the players that in the AFC I'm talking about now as well, besides the Patriots, and it's Buffalo, it's the Broncos, it's the Texans. If they can get some of those 4,000 footwork people to help CJ Stroud with his footwork,
Yeah, yeah, he needs help.
the,
Yeah.
the Texans with that defense, boy, can you imagine the Texans against the Seahawks?
Um,
That would be
yeah,
a Friday the 13th matchup, both dark
would
sides, you
would
know.
love it. Would
Yeah.
love it.
So we shall see. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the favorites will be, kind of take the playoffs this year and reshuffle them a little bit, but take the top, six teams. Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, I
Them
don't
too.
know. I don't know. I don't know how flash of a pan that was. It's really hard to tell with some teams. What's like a little bit of flash in the pan? What's sustainable? Chicago Bears,
That's true.
that seems sustainable to me. I don't know, if the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Indianapolis Colts, I don't know if they just caught, kind of, fire in a bottle for one year or not. We'll see. But I think those top, six teams, um, Kansas City might not be in that top six, but yeah, I think those would be good bets. In the too early to tell betting lines.
And then in the NFC, totally agree with you. In the NFC, back to the NFC, that came to my mind just now. Like I said in the last episode, just about every team in the NFC West, except for the Arizona Cardinals. You got the 49ers, you got the Rams. I mean, it was tough for Seattle, and I think that's what helped them get over and climb all the way to the top of the mountain is because it was so tough for them. And don't forget the Bears.
The Bears, I mean, that's what I say. I threw them in there because they are absolutely, I believe they're very sustainable on what they did. I don't think that was a flash in the pan at all.
And then the Lions and the Packers. You can't ever really count them out either. So
Yep.
we could start naming quite a few teams, but yeah, Seattle, I don't know, man. They play anywhere close to like they did this year, that's going to be tough to beat them.
Yeah. And, listen, talk about sustainability, man. If I get this wrong, I apologize, but I was reading somewhere where I'm pretty confident it said since 1998, so we're talking what, 28 years, this is the first postseason that did not have Patrick Mahomes. Uh, who else?
Peyton?
Tom Brady and Peyton Manning in the postseason. So those three quarterbacks, 28 years, the first time they weren't in the postseason. So that's how you sustain stuff. You get a great quarterback like Mahomes, and that helps sustainability a lot. So
That's
that's why the Houstons of the world and stuff. I'm a little on the fence with. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's crazy. In just the last episode, you said it's been 28 years since a running back, Kenneth Walker, K9, got a Super Bowl MVP, but it's because he rushed for 135 yards in the Super Bowl. But no other running backs rushed for more than 135 yards in 28 years.
That
And we've
that
only
I
had three quarterbacks that have names have been on the Super Bowl in the
Right.
last.
Well, in the playoffs, those guys have dominated. You know what I mean? Hey, listen,
That's
just
crazy.
crazy stats everywhere. If you really want to look at this season,
Yeah.
you know, the Bears, they won a playoff game against Green Bay. Okay, that's interesting. For the first time since 1941.
Yeah.
41. I
That's
mean,
great.
I know they're in the same division, but what? Unbelievable. Oh, and just as a reminder, the Panthers and Jaguars were both in the playoffs at the same time. Woo! Hey, man, let me tell you, it's unbelievable.
Well, goodbye, old friend football.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, football.
Just for a
So
few
let's move
months.
on. We love all sports. We continue to prove that. Obviously, football has been taking center stage, but now let's move on because there's a lot of other things going on in the world of sports. Where are we going next?
I think you said before the show that you were going to mention something about the NBA.
I am going to mention something about the NBA
It's
because
controversial.
bec- it's very controversial because what probably should be being talked about in the NBA is LeBron James being like the oldest player to get a triple double last night.
Yeah.
I think it was last night and last night or two. We should be talking about some of the young stars, but we're not. You know what the NBA is talking about? The NBA is talking about tanking, and let me tell you, it's ugly right now. There are 8 teams um, that aren't even hiding the fact that they are tanking. And what do they tank? What do you mean tanking? Well, they're trying to not win games. Like they are literally trying to not win games. You know, you could say who's doing it, who's tanking better? Is that should I say who's tanking worse or who's tanking better? But what I mean by that, who are the biggest culprits? I mean, the Utah Jazz. You're looking at sitting their best players, on the bench in the fourth quarter, down by 8, totally winnable game. It's just a mess. The NBA's tried to fix this with the lottery. I don't know if people even realize where the lottery came from. Well, it used to be, like football, NFL, worst team gets the first pick, right? Tanking happened all the time. Shoot, we're 3 games from being the worst team. Well, let's just lose it. You know what I mean? So they did the lottery to prevent that. That didn't fix it, And then they have this mid-season tournament, and it's literally like 2 different seasons. You can win or do well in the mid-season tournament and improve your stock draft, or your stock draft could worsen separate from the formal end of the season. That hasn't stopped it. I don't know what the answer is, but I really think about, and I know I'm rambling on here. Sorry, I'll give you the tee box in a second. But what I'm thinking is, who cares really? I mean, who cares? I mean, is it legal? Yeah, I mean, you can not win the games, and it's hard to prove. But I'll tell you, there's 2 things that make it a little bit frustrating. One of them is with all the micro betting out there. Hey, I bet so and so doesn't play 41 minutes or doesn't play 21 minutes. Bad example on 41, 15 overtimes. I bet you so and so doesn't play 21 minutes. Oh, he doesn't. Well, is there betting involved? Is this a financial decision? And number 2, what about the fans? It ain't cheap. I don't know if you've been to an NBA game lately or any sporting event or any concert for that matter, but it ain't cheap to go to an NBA game. And you go to like a Utah Jazz game and, you're really there to see, the stars, or you go to a Milwaukee game and the stars are sitting on the bench. I mean, it's just, it's really not helping the game at all.
It's almost like they should just eliminate those bottom 8 teams after so many games and not play any games at all. But then that would hurt the franchise, and the diehard fans would suffer because they wouldn't have a game to go to. So
Well,
I don't know.
that's kind of it, really. I mean, think about it. If it was COVID year where there's no fans, oh well, wah. But you know what? These are fans paying good money to go see, competitive games. It's just a joke because, it's like going to a golf tournament and back in the day and Tiger's not playing. Okay, well, he's injured. All right, well, okay. But what if, the top 10 players weren't playing? You know what I mean? And you just spent $300 on a ticket. It's I don't know what they're going to do, but they got to do something because it's really getting ugly, man. There's like 8 or 9 teams that are literally, it's like a contest on who can tank worse. Terrible.
Like you said just before the show, who accidentally beat who last night?
That was the story. Literally the Utah Jazz against the Miami Heat. The Utah Jazz, they sat their starters. They literally sat their starters trying to lose the game, and they ended up accidentally winning. Literally, that was the article. They accidentally won because the Heat screwed up worse. It was like unbelievable. It's a joke. But hey, we'll keep an eye on that. Let's move to a smaller ball, baseball. Hey, we know pitchers and catchers reported. Already some stories are coming out of spring training. Give me one. What do you got?
Well, I find it very notable that Max Verlander is back with the Detroit Tigers.
That's notable.
He wants to win his 300th game as a Tiger, as well as help lead the Tigers to a world championship.
Hmm.
So
I like it.
as baseball is getting ready to roll here, just before the show, we were also talking about that. I mean, you think about it now, you've got Skubal, who just won a huge arbitration case. And the Tigers, this is a day or two after the Tigers paid a big contract to Framber Valdez. Whoops.
Yeah,
Where they
yeah.
get, they have to sell a lot of Little Caesars pizzas to take care of that, Mike
Mm. Oh
Ilitch
yeah.
and company. But they've got Verlander, Framber Valdez, and Skubal now as their core pitching staff. And I'll do a way too early look out for the Detroit Tigers because they were close to getting to the World Series last year, too. So
Oh
I found that
well,
quite
no,
notable.
they were really close. I mean, they were
Yep.
probably a favorite, going into the playoffs at least.
Yep. And then there was another story which I found pretty funny. Is I just read this today that Castellanos of the Phillies was told he cannot report to spring training, and then I saw where he has been released. And you know what his explanation is?
Uh, no,
Because I brought beer into the dugout and I criticized the manager.
what?
The
Wait,
first part, I want him on my team.
I was just gonna say. Are you not allowed to bring beer into the dugout? I mean, you're 21, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, Little
Well,
League we weren't, but
what? Well, Becca, don't forget, drinking age when we grew up was 18. So,
yeah,
we had a little bit more opportunity
yeah.
for a longer period. Well, wait a minute. What came first? The drinking, then the criticizing of the manager? Or was the criticizing of the manager because he was told he couldn't drink beer?
I don't know. I haven't seen the rest of the story. I'll have our staff look into that, but
Yeah,
I'll bet
let's
it
get on that.
was. I bet it was. He was drinking beer, and then his manager told him, "You can't be doing that," and he was like, "I don't
Yeah,
like you."
yeah,
I wouldn't like
I
him
know.
either. I said, "Let me have
It's
my
like, hey,
beer."
man, don't be touching my beer, man. It's
Yeah.
like crazy. Oh, hey, baseball's back. You got to love the boys of summer, man.
What if he was the DH for the game? Then I think he should have a beer every couple innings.
Hey, listen, I mean, you know what? If that's not on the illegal drug list or the
Right,
banned substances list, alcohol,
right,
then why not? And
right.
besides, if the legal limit's point 0.8, point oh 0.08, whatever it is, good thing I don't know that by heart. But if the legal limit is oh 0.08, whatever, and you have a couple beers and your breathalyzer would be a point, 6, you should be able to drink beer. You're not drunk by
Oh,
state rules. Although
right.
driving buzzed, I'm not recommended driving buzzed, people. Just to let
There
you
you
know.
go. Thank you. And we will
Yes.
adhere to that advice. And I got one more thing, another drinking story just before we get to golf. Finland sent home their ski jump coach.
The
E-
Olympics?
yeah, Igor Medved.
What?
Igor was sent home from the Olympics due to alcohol related issues, violating team rules. He apologized, and the
That's good.
team will address his future after the games.
Nice.
Another coach will take over. The first thing I thought of, what, drinking, taking one for the
Yes.
team?
I volunteer.
Yeah. Or and then and this is all happening after the team placed sixth. The story said, and I was like, what, in drinking? Man, they got to do better than that. So I was like,
Yeah, no, US would be much better. Well, I don't know. Actually, some countries where it's cold all year long. I mean, they probably could give us a run for the money.
I thought of one last thing. I was like, can you imagine after the games, the head of the Finland Olympic team calls the head coach in and he goes, in lieu of these charges of you drinking, you are Finnish. And then the coach goes, yes, I know. I was born in Finland. What's your point?
Mm,
No, you are Finnish.
ah, I like it. I like it. Yes. And when they did decide to go to the bar together, they went Dutch. Yes, I understand.
Oh,
Yes, makes total sense.
oh,
Well, I'll be honest with you. Once again, was he drunk at practice? Like, I'm not condoning drinking, but in the sports world, what does this mean? Did he show up with a bottle? Was he handing out liquor to minors? Did he just show up with bad, whiskey breath? I don't know. What was the problem?
it was alcohol related.
Right. Okay. I mean, hey, listen, when in Italy, drink the Chianti, I guess. But that's interesting. Well, speaking of Olympics, let's just get into that real quick. Um, I've been watching a little bit. To be honest with you, I've been traveling a lot. I haven't watched as much as I usually do. Not yet. I know the women's hockey and stuff like that was like just going full blown. Congratulations. So far, the U.S. is in second place, tied for second, behind the host country,
Yeah.
with 18 medals to Norway and Italy. We have 14. We're a little behind in the gold, but we're blowing everybody out in silver. So 3, 3, and 7 on the silver, but on the gold, 8 Norway, 6 Italy, 4 U.S. And I just want to shout out to alpine skiing, Breezy Johnson, as we know, who, by the way, got engaged right after her sport was over. She got engaged, so that was nice. Right after she announced she was bi. We're not judging here. She announced she's bi, then got engaged to a nice young man. So that was kind of an interesting little segue there. The U.S. won the gold in the mixed team event by the way, this, and if I get his name wrong, what's Mr. Malinen's name? His first name?
Ilya?
Ilya? Ilya Malinin is a stud, man. The guy is unbelievable, man. Plus, he's got like the eye of the tiger. I like that. Freestyle skiing, that was awesome in the women's moguls, and then speed skating, Jordan Stoltz, and set an Olympic record in the men's 1,000. So we're getting to the good stuff too. So just shout out to the U.S. We're doing well. And then finally, let's close it out with golf because we love golf for a lot of reasons. I like it right now because I can see people in short sleeve shirts and everything watching golf.
Yeah.
Pebble Beach, a little chilly, but looks good. Some familiar names on top of the leaderboard so far.
Yes, sir. And I like the fact that Ricky Fowler's in the hunt. He's right there. And there's 4 out of the top 5 right now. I mean, it's Friday afternoon, Pebble Beach. Some of them haven't even hit the back 9, but 4 out of the 5 U.S. golfers are in the top 5.
I like it. Jordan Spieth is up there. I like to see that. You got some other usual suspects. Let me tell you something about Goddard up. I'm just saying, this guy, one of the longest hitters on tour. He's not the best wedge player, which is the only reason people aren't saying, look out for him. But I keep an eye on him, man. He's got game, man. I mean, and this is one of those courses, kind of like Augusta, in the sense that if you've played it a million times, you have a big advantage. So some of these older golfers, the Rorys and the Fitzpatricks and those guys have a little advantage. But anyways, we'll keep an eye on Pebble Beach for sure. I like that tournament.
Yeah, me too. And in the college news for golf, real quick, Tiger Woods' son,
Big news.
Charlie,
Yeah, big news.
said he's
I
going
like
to
it.
play in Tallahassee, but it's just a verbal commit. So let's see if the tampering starts today or
Well,
tomorrow
if
or the
if
next day.
Miami has anything to do with it, he'll be playing for Miami because he'll be playing right next to Donald Trump's granddaughter, who plays golf for the University of Miami.
What do you
So,
mean that rich booster you have down there with the initials JR is going to be on the phone there?
who would that be? Who's Jr.?
Charlie!
Jr. Who's that?
John Ruiz.
He's old news, man. Do you know who else? Do you know whose kid goes to UM? Jeff Bezos. I mean, he
Yeah.
looks at Ruiz and says, "Love what you've done, buddy, but move out of the way. I got a checkbook." Miami has no shortage of money. It's just a matter of doing it the right way, which Miami is, thank God.
Bezos went to my alma mater and we have our library upgrade. Meanwhile, you got a national championship trophy, a
Yes.
Heisman trophy at your alma mater. So,
Listen, listen. I love the fact that Charlie's going to Florida State because I love any Florida school that has success is fine with me. We need to
yep,
get the Gators. We need to get the Seminoles back playing football because there's like a little hole in things.
yep. I
All
agree
right.
with you, buddy.
We will. We'll get them back. Well, okay. Well, listen, that was a great discussion. Covered a lot of ground. Look forward to the next show.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows what we're going to talk about? But for this episode, that's it. For this episode of the Undrafted Armchair Quarterbacks with Jim and Joe. Thanks for checking us out and hanging with us for some real fan-driven sports talk.
Please don't forget, we love having you join us. Thank you very much. Your comments are important. Drop them below. We'll read them and we'll feature them in future episodes. We read them all too, don't we? We do. Be sure to like, subscribe, and catch us every week for free on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, or wherever you listen.
Yep.
Thank you again, everybody. Have a
All
good
right.
weekend.
Hey, happy Valentine's Day. We should have started the show with that tomorrow. Don't forget, if you're
My
watching
dear
this,
wife.
make sure you don't forget that because watching sports might be a little bit tougher if you do that. But have a good one. Talk to you soon. See you,
You
bud.
too. Happy
Take care, Jim.
Valentine's.
You too.